In my last video, I talked about what are some of the main determinations in considering whether group health insurance makes sense or not for your company. In this video, I'd like to expand upon that by talking about the pros and the cons of setting up a group insurance policy. One of the main pros is the tax advantage that comes with a group health insurance policy. Every dollar that the employer puts in towards the insurance on behalf of the employees is a tax deductible to them, but it is also not taxable dollars to the employee like income would be for them. Plus, every dollar that the employee contributes towards the health insurance would be considered pre-taxed out of their paycheck, which means they're not paying taxes on those dollars, which is great for them, but the employer is also saving money because they're not paying FICA and things such as work comp on those dollars that are being pre-taxed. A second advantage of doing a group health plan is that group rates are generally less than individual rates. If you take the same carrier and the same plan design, the group rates are less expensive. Now, this doesn't include if somebody's receiving subsidy from the individual marketplace because of their income level, but if somebody's not receiving subsidy, group rates are less expensive. A third reason is that group health insurance ties the employee to that employer, both from a physical and a mental state. And when I say physical, I mean that they are literally know that in order to receive the group health insurance, they need to be working full-time for you. From a mentality standpoint, a lot of times they may be going, well, if I'm not working full-time there, I'm not working there, and I have to go buy something else. I have to go to an individual marketplace. I have to figure out how to buy individual plans. And from a mentality standpoint, that may be scary to them. So once again, it's physically and mentally tying them into your organization by having a group plan. The final reason from a pro standpoint is that group insurance is easy to qualify for. From an employer standpoint, you just need 2 employees that are full-time employees, either 1 or 2 of them taking the coverage depending on the carrier, and the employer only needs to contribute 25 to 50% of the cost of single coverage in order to qualify to have a group plan in place. So it's usually less expensive for the employer than they think it might be. What are some of the cons? Well, if an employee is receiving subsidy from the individual marketplace and you set up a group plan, they may no longer be able to be eligible for that subsidy if the group plan is deemed to be affordable by the governmental definition. Second reason is that you do need to pick a carrier. So if you're in the South Central Wisconsin, you have to pick Dean or Group Health Cooperative or Quartz. And depending on which carrier you take, that determines a lot of times which doctors you can see, and they may not meet the needs of all of your employees. If you pick Dean Health Plan, which has SSM clinics, and somebody is used to going to UW clinic, they may not be happy with that carrier choice from a group standpoint. A final reason that it may not make sense to do a group plan, or the con, could be if you have employees spread out in multiple locations. If you have a couple of employees here in Madison, but you've got other employees throughout the state or in multiple states, setting up a group plan that has more of an HMO benefit, which means that you don't get any benefits if you don't see the providers in the network, it may not make sense to do it. So these are very small bullet points to talk about these subjects, the pros and the cons. If you'd like to talk in more detail about whether it makes sense for your organization to set up a group plan, please contact me and I'd be happy to talk to you. Thank you.